Before you leave us, Isobel Redmond, do you, like your federal counterpart, Tony Abbott, have moments where we should really only take what you're saying as gospel truth if it's written down and carefully scripted, and cut you some slack in the rough and tumble of conversation?
Look, I actually understood, I think, what Tony was getting at, in the sense that, when you're doing a live-to-air radio interview, you're going to be talking in much more casual terms than if you're reading. And I mean, I hate reading speeches in the first place, so I actually generally speak to people, and I happily have a fairly good head for facts and figures. But I can well imagine that, all he was intending to say was not that he's not trustworthy or reliable or trying his best to be absolutely honest, but that in the course of just a casual interview, and in some circumstances no interview was ever casual, but the fact is
you may not be telling the truth.
Well,
unless it's carefully thought out.
Well, I guess that's one way of interpreting it, but I don't think that was the essence or the intent of what he was saying. And I didn't see it at the time, but I did watch the playback last night, and I don't.
Like watching a train wreck.
Well, I'm sure that he may
think carefully here.
May now think that there might have been a better way of expressing what he was intending to say, but that's the nature of it. I mean, that's the nature of the game. And someone suggested to me last night. In fact, it was my own son who went over to his place for a belated Mother's Day dinner, and he said, telling the truth. Now, what about in the case of Anne Frank? Would the family who protected the family of Anne Frank have been doing the wrong thing if they told the Nazis the truth when they were questioned about the whereabouts of the Frank family? I think you have to actually take things in context. And I think Tony's comment about, on the 7:30 report needs to be taken in the context of simply trying to explain the nature of the rough and tumble of political life.
You're not saying Kerry O'Brien's like the Gestapo?
Not at all, no.
Isobel Redmond, State Opposition Leader, thank you for coming into the studio.
It's a pleasure.
And we obviously extended an invitation to Treasurer Kevin Foley to come in. He declined on this occasion. Respectfully declined, I think it's fair to say. It's 9 to 9.